Welcome back to the 21st episode of the Michelle and Tony Show. It's me, your boy Tony, and I'm here with.
Michelle.
So, yeah, like our last episode was a blast. Thank you, God, for listening. We saw that a lot of people actually engaged in that one. That one was a very nice one, the fan takeover. And we really appreciate for you sticking out basically to just listen to us basically. So yeah, thank you. And yeah, welcome back to the 21st episode. Like I said, it's a brand new day and it's a very good day to be alive. So now let's move on. This episode is going to be talking about, you know, we're going to be talking about the reasons why we do this. Basically, the episode is basically talking about why we're doing this. Why are we doing this? I mean, some people have probably thought, these two boys just like always talking on this podcast, why are you talking on this podcast? And the question we told you guys to ask was basically some people just commented really nice things basically, but then some people just did not like say anything that made sense basically. So we're going to just basically be talking about why are we doing this. So now the question we're going to be asking ourselves is, are we doing this for validation, or are we doing this for like ourselves? Like, why are we doing this? Basically, it's a very good question because, to be honest, we couldn't even answer it when we like asked, when we like basically like came up with the question because
When we basically started.
yeah, we couldn't even answer the question. We thought, oh, we knew what we were doing, but then along the way we just found out that there's some things that we just basically drifted from the main idea, and then it just began to the whole thing just began to change, right? Before we were talking about just basically self improvement. If you've noticed, we talked about self improvement earlier on, but now we just drift into basically talking about
Or relatable topics.
unrelatable topics basically. So why are we doing this? Are we doing this for ourselves, or are we just doing this for validation? Now, first of all, it's obvious we're not doing this for ourselves. Like, we're always not doing this for ourselves. We talked about self improvement, and this is because we've been able to experience such a thing. We're not just talking about based on nothing that we have not seen. It's personal life, it's personal issues that personal experiences we've been able to gather all this while. And I was seeing that, oh, this is how this life is all about, and basically it is how the perspective of life is basically. And we're opening our eyes has basically been open to the understanding that there's so many things that we've been taught and we have to first online basically, and then that is what we are just basically using this platform to basically push that narrative that you need to unlearn certain things if you want to get to the next level. And yeah, it's not because we are doing this because we want to do this because, oh, we want to be getting validation from you, we want to be praised by you guys. No, we're doing this because we want to help you guys. This is something that we feel like people need to listen to and understand, that the things that they've been told, the things that they've been basically they bought into, like the ideas, the lies they've been sold to, like they need to basically like unlearn them. They basically need to like start understanding that, bro, it's not true, it's all a lie, and how the world basically runs. It needs to start understanding. I think that's what we are doing on this show. And like I said before, we said that when we asked ourselves these questions, it was hard for us to basically answer. But the reason is because it was just like, to be fair, do we understand what we're even doing? And then we've actually told ourselves, yes, it's because this work is so powerful, it's bigger than both of us basically, and it's not something that we should what's it called, like basically play with. It's something not something that we basically toy with. So answering that question of are we doing this for ourselves, we are not doing this for ourselves. It's bigger than us. It's like, I think Mitchell understands that it's
Yeah.
actually bigger than us. He knows that because he's been reiterating this thing to my head, that basically they're saying that this mission is just, it's just totally bigger than us, and so we can never be doing this for ourselves. We can never be doing this for validation. I think we are totally against anything that has to be validated. Before you take any responsibility, I believe, Mitchell, you need to understand that it has to come from within. It has to come from, yeah. So before you start looking for people's opinion about you, you have to have an opinion about yourself. So we're not seeking for validation because we already have an opinion of what this podcast is, why we are doing this podcast. So it's not for us, basically. Like I said, it is for you guys.
Yeah, but like, I want to ask you, like, I understand that maybe we are not doing it
Yeah,
for them. I understand, but like, I believe that there's an atom of me, and there's an atom of you, no matter how small, that that you are doing it for, right? Like, there is something that you are hoping to achieve.
yeah,
There is something you are hoping to like achieve personally, like a personal achievement with this podcast, right?
yeah.
So for you, like, what is it?
So the obviously is a personal achievement, and my personal achievement has always been the idea of like getting to that, basically getting to that part, that level where I know I can always be, be being a very good. And I've told you before, it's just basically trying to be in a position where
Can always give back.
I can always give back, and it's not just financial terms, it's like advice, whatever it is, try to always help. I don't want to be in a situation where what's it called? People need to ask. People come to me and like they need such they need something. They're basically in need, and I can't give back. Right? Like I always believe that you need to always share information and share knowledge. You understand? So whatever you have, you need to share it, even if it's as small as anything. And I've always been that kind of person. Right? I never like want to hide what I have just because of it's little. No little I have, I always want to give, and so it has always been that what's it called drive basically for me. And then I've always thought about like starting a content like a podcast or like a show basically where I give back the information that I have. Originally, it was not meant to be based on this topic. It was just it was based on the information I had on football because I'm on football or on a sports level. So basically on sports. After I started a sports show, but the information that I have every day, I would want to give back. I would want to share, but I want to share it with everybody that's like basically this is what I know, and I feel like you shouldn't know this. So that's basically like a personal joy. I want to get to that level, like basically, that world best podcast level. Not because I want to be the world best podcaster or I want to be the world best. I feel like personally that is what I want to do, so that if I get that level, I believe that level for me to have gotten to that level is because I've been able to like connect with a lot of people and stuff like that. So that's why I want to get to that level, not because of any personal joy, not because of any personal validation, like I said, but like just
I also like
to be
I've,
able to
I've
do
heard you
that.
say this now about like wanting to
Yeah.
give back, wanting to give back. Like, what is your context of giving back? Is it money?
Like I said, it's not anything like it's not just only financial what's it called. Like I said, getting to that podcast level, like best podcast level, to be able to be able to
Pass
tap to a lot of
information.
people, right? Pass information
Pass
to a lot of
information.
people. So people who want to get to that standard where they're the best YouTuber in the world, or they're the best streamer in the world, and it's just basically because of the name best streamer in the world. But like the reason why I want to get there is not just because I want to be the best streamer in the world. I believe that for me to have got to that level and been able to connect with a lot of people, and then if I'm being able to connect with a lot of people, I want to be. It's just basically like me giving a lot of information to a lot of people. Do you understand? It is because the happiness is that I'm being able to connect with a lot of people and being able to share my information with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right? Doing that is like that level that I would want to attain. That's the level I want to be at. You understand? Not because of I want to be the world's best, the name, carry the title all around. It's not being me because personally I'm not the the show off kind of person. I'm not the best, whatever. I'm not like the person that comes out and just trying to make myself look the best or anything. I don't even like showing myself outside. I don't even like being outside. To be fair, I'm more of like an introverted extrovert. Basically, I can go out, I can be with people, but for me to be with a lot of people is like my friends has to be my people have to be. They have to know some people, and like if you see me in parties or something like that, it's just because I'm with my people. I can never like just start moving around and talking to people, but unless like it calls for it basically. So I'm more of like an introverted extrovert. I'm not this whole playful kind of person, and like I believe that you have to first connect with the personality. You have to first know who you are as a person. Do you understand? Because there are people that are basically you know, they're different, right? People are different, and yeah, their terms of success will obviously be different. And so for me, like I said, this is not personal. This is not anything like oh, I want to be the best because like the name is there, stuff like that. I want to be the best so that I can know that I'm connected with a lot of people. My information is being, is being shared to a whole lot of people, and a lot of people have been able to connect to what I am basically producing. That's just what I want to do.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, when we started the podcast, it wasn't basically about what we are doing now.
Yeah.
Like episode one, what women actually want. That is kind of like the direction we're headed in. But from episode two, I think that is when we started enlightening people. And even after that episode two, I still didn't realize this thing of. I think it came around episode three or episode four or episode five. That like I was just experiencing this level of peace of mind. Like I was just basically free. Like I was okay. I was happy, and I think that is what self improvement helped me achieve. Right. And I remember when I used to say, if I died now, I would regret nothing. You understand? But eventually, it started changing to the fact that I didn't actually bring anybody along on this journey.
Yeah.
You understand? Like this journey is basically like the best thing ever, right? And what kind of person will I be if I didn't bring anybody along, right? So my own aim of starting this podcast is not for any fucking validation. It's to enlighten people, guy. You understand? It's to show people that there is another way of thinking. You understand? Yes, society and our parents told us something, but society and your parents are not. They are not everything. Can't you like outsource information? Right? And then when you now go on your way to outsource new information, you see that, bro, like there are things that you were not even told. Like there are things out there you were not even told. There are mindset hacks. There are many fucking things you are not told. You understand? So that's the point of this podcast, to keep on enlightening people.
Yeah.
Keep on enlightening people. You understand? I know with strong conviction in my heart that this podcast you can get to 100 million listeners monthly, right? And I'll just be enlightening people. I might even have this my own inner circle. I'll mentor people. I'll show people like that is just basically one of the things that I want to achieve.
Yeah.
You understand? I might stay here in Earth. You understand? Basically one of the things I want to achieve because the way I was before, I was just on my own, right? I never actually put much stress into. I never put much stress into like trying to bring people along this journey. I'll just be like, okay, this is how you're thinking. The way you're thinking is wrong, so fuck you, basically, right? But now for me, it's like I can help people think the right way. It's not because I'm perfect. I still have some things on myself to work on. I'm still building myself. I'm still working on myself.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If I keep waiting to be perfect, I will never start, right? Because starting is the perfect condition.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically it for me. Another thing is that I also want to meet some great guys out there. You understand? I just want to meet like many great people. Like I want to meet people like Stephen Ballet. I want to meet people like Emma Greed. I want to meet all these creators. Like I basically want to meet them. Understand? That is another thing that like I just want. Like I just want to meet all these people. Right? Also that you could only basically see on your phone screen before. Right? You now see them real life, and like that's also for me. That is like my own personal motive combined with the other motive, right? And like I keep saying, the mission is fucking bigger than me. The mission is fucking bigger than Tony, right? So that's why even as we are now, some of us realize you can't do it alone, but at the same time you have to keep doing it alone. You understand? The next phase of this podcast is like we're going to like go fucking global, go massive, like start recruiting great people, because that is how you build great things, right? We recruit great people to help us, like to keep, like we just keep on recruiting great people. And the thing about great people is that they like working with great people. You understand? So it's like self-pollinating. So like we just keep on recruiting great people, right? Then these people will help us. Because of course I don't know everything. Tony also doesn't know everything.
Yeah.
You understand? In as much as maybe sometimes we can think of something like episode 20 style and marathon, but there are people out there that maybe they might have an idea, like a fucking ass idea, or like wow, like totally wow.
Yeah. So
You understand?
like this question just came into my head right now. So yeah, you talked about like all this, basically this is what you want to do and stuff like that. Now the question is basically all these like podcasts, because we're not the first persons to start this idea of trying to give up. We're not the person that's like have this basically this idea. There are people that are like way ahead of us, in this call, in this journey.
Yeah.
The likes of Imangazi with his own idea, basically Alex Amos talking about sales, Stephen Ballet, his podcast are basically enlightening people.
Yeah.
Like this is one small ideas that we're just. So now, basically, what do you think differentiates us from these different podcasters? Like, what do you think is our own driving motive? Because if you're looking at us, we have like basically the similar ideology to all these other persons. But what do you think differentiates us between these guys?
Okay. First of all, it's the fact that we didn't start as one.
Yeah.
We started as two. Like very, very, very important. Like we are like I'm not saying this thing out of like guesswork or there are just some things that you are very sure of, right? And one of those things is that like we are going to go like very, very far with this thing. Like we can we will beat almost everybody that started alone. Like I'm actually telling you the truth. Like we have the potential of beating everybody that started alone.
Yeah.
You understand? Even now, maybe basically we have nothing. We have no, like we can't even be saying basically what I was saying now. But like we seriously have the potential to beat everybody that started alone. And what separates us is another thing, Sha, that I know is that personally I'm not like you said, you always wanted to be a content creator. I never wanted to be a content creator. I never wanted to create content. Like, tell me I'm creating content. The same match I created this podcast. If you told you that same match that I'll become a content creator, I'll tell you a fucking lie. Right? So, like, there's a driving motive, right? Because there's this thing about people that start podcasts these days. They'll make money, make so much money, and then they will have all the money to just get the studio, the mics, write the name of their podcast with shine things, and you understand, and do the video and all that. But us, we don't basically like have any of those things, right? So like we're actually like starting from scratch. Most of these people they didn't start podcasts from scratch. I basically don't know. I think they're out there, but I basically don't know most people that started podcasts from scratch. Like Aspire by Emma Grid. She's already a fucking billionaire. So she had the money, she just arranged the studio. And Stephen Ballet created so many successful companies. He had money, so he just started Diary of a CEO. Joe Rogan started many other things. He made money, he started Joe Rogan. So like I basically don't know anybody that like started podcasting from the scratch. Right? And it's going to like separate us. It's going to separate us so much now, because when I'm saying that, like I can say this thing 1,000 times, that we can get better than Joe Rogan, than Diary of a CEO, if you are consistent. That's why like I don't play with consistency. Like I just don't fucking play, because now we have no advantage, right? Both in audience, both in size, both in equipment. We have zero advantage. But where we can start gaining leverage is through consistency, right?
Yeah.
I've basically never seen anything like two people start a podcast from scratch and be consistent with it. Maybe there are people out there that have started, but maybe they're just lost in time and like, this thing is not for me, it's not work, all this thought,
Yeah.
right? But us now, we basically started from scratch, right? So it means that we are not like, for us to reach episode 20 minus the 10 episode marathons, it shows that like we're not just here to like fucking create content. You understand? Because if that was the aim, like maybe to get very famous, if that was the aim, we would have stopped at episode 5. But that is not like the fucking aim, right? But like, and the thing about start small and dream big, I just love the way we acknowledge that thing. You understand? Like maybe now some people might see this podcast and be like, okay, yeah, he's a sharp, it's a good idea, but like they don't even know like basically what we have planned in our head for this thing, right?
Yes.
Like we have planned many so
much
fucking
about-
things.
yeah.
Like we just have the images in our head, right? But we're still playing it small. So yeah, personally, I feel like there's a lot of difference between ourselves and many of these other podcasters out there, right? I feel like there's a lot of fucking difference. You
Yeah,
understand?
I also like feel like there is like a lot of things to understand about humanity and the human life and basically like differences between human personnels. I believe that one thing people should need to understand is basically the ideology that two heads are better than one.
Basically, yeah.
Just basically two heads are better than one. These people all came up with the idea. If you understand, their head is so like it's so hot and everything. That the ideas basically they've been able to connect with a lot of people. And from people they gained a lot of information.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Whereas you have the two of us, right? I can connect with a lot of people, Michelle can connect with a lot of people. And we bring those connections we have with a lot of people together. Like that is just the most powerful thing because
Yeah.
we are more than them.
Yeah, we are more than them.
We are more than them,
That's what I believe. Like I can keep saying this no one. I believe that we can actually become like the best in the world.
Yeah.
You
So
understand?
I mean, this is something that I know that personally, like, Michelle and I are just like, totally different. Basically, we're totally different. Michelle talked about how like, if we were just creating content, would have and wanted to be famous, would have stopped like episode 5. I tell you for free, like, when we started to realize that we were on this self improvement journey, we looked at episode 1 and we looked at the rest of the episodes that we created after that. Sure, there was a huge difference. If you listen to our episode 1, we talked about what women want, which was a very exciting topic. A lot of people really engaged in that one.
144 plays.
Yeah, that a lot of people engaged in that one. And if you look at everything from there, it's just like a huge dip from that
Yeah.
episode to now. People stopped. I believe that people just felt like episode 1 was more exciting and more enticing, basically, to listen to, and they loved episode 1. And a lot of people commented. A lot of people like engaged in it, and that was our most. I think that's our most so far.
That is our most.
But imagine that like huge dip from from like episode 1 to now, and then
started talking about actual
Yeah.
life things. Yeah.
and then now we are starting to realize that like this is what we are, and people are not even like taking our value. Like we said that okay, people are not even engaging as much, but we kept on going. We realized this thing since episode 7, episode 5. We saw this in episode 5. We saw this in episode 7, 8. We've done 20. This is our 21st episode right now, right? Excluding the what's it called, the 10 episode marathon series that we did. Like that just goes to show like the drive that we have, the reasons why we like basically back ourselves in these things, because we believe we are more than them. We believe that we are basically like just not them.
Yeah,
Do you understand?
Like we're just
Difference basically, and difference is is that difference that we have between between them that we leverage on basically.
yeah. It's not like we got rich.
Yeah.
And had money and we just created.
These guys, they leverage on money.
They leverage on
They
money.
basically leveraged on their basically their like fact that they were already having something
They
to,
had money, yeah.
and then the ideology that you need to create wealth from with wealth. Do you understand? They basically created wealth with wealth, and us we are leveraging on the knowledge that we have, nothing else. Do you understand? So that's why we feel like basically knowledge that is basically from two different sources, basically challenging to basically create one basically
one
idea. Basically that is totally bigger than.
It's a little bit, yeah.
So I feel like our heads are just we are going to basically push forward. We're going to basically search for this thing. If you actually thought that we were content creators, then you're just basically laughing to yourself. This is not a basically a podcast where you come here and then just like you get satisfied with entertainment and stuff like that. No, do you understand? We're going to try to make it as fair as possible, but then that's not the main essence of this podcast. Is not for entertainment, purposes, and just to basically while away your time and stuff. This is where you come on and learn something. Do you understand? We are not doing this just because we feel like, oh, no, we are hitting on humanity or anything. No, this is
Yeah,
like,
I mean, if we were doing it for motivation, like we wouldn't have come this far. Like, if we were doing it for any other reason, we wouldn't have come this
you won't
far.
have gone this far. And like, you won't even believe like a lot of things that are basically behind, like a lot of things that are basically, like, should I just say, a lot of things that are basically going on in the behind the curtains, and then you don't know about, and then you feel like we've done this episode 1, episode 2, 20, done 10 marathon series, and there's that thing that is basically going on. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then you feel like because that thing is supposed to be going on, content creators, people that are supposedly meant to just be creating content, the purpose of their creating content is not even there. So like that would have been a reasons why, that would have been a major reason why they stopped basically since. But you see us, right? That reason has been there, but then we just kept on pushing and kept on studying forward. Like it's never been a stumbling block, whatever that thing is. Basically, we know about it. I don't think we should say it on this podcast, but that thing, like the reasons why people create content, basically, like it's not there. We are not seeing that reason, and because of that reason, it's not there. We are not really we are not even there putting like basically. We didn't put our minds to it because that was not why we came in the first place. Do you understand? That was not our motivation. That was not our reasons. Do you understand? So, like, it just goes to show that we are basically not here for fun, or we're not here for any other reason other than to just help you guys. Basically, gain. Like Michelle said, he said before, like he said if he died today he would regret nothing, but then he got to realize that this thing was basically like it wouldn't be fair if he didn't share his knowledge that while he still was on it. So that would be a big regret, and so now he's basically taking it upon himself to basically share the knowledge that he has, and that's just basically the whole essence of why I feel like I am alive, basically, to just always share my knowledge and share what I have. And so that was why we created this podcast, not just for anything in return. I've never felt like I needed to be, giving certain things in return because of what I did, or certain, like I've done. There's a lot of things that people will look at me and be like, "Guy, well, why?" Knowing fully well my person, people would look at me and be like, "But why did you do this? Why did you do that?" And I'm like, "But like, if I don't do it, then when musical, like who am I? Like this is the point of why I came to this list. If I don't do this, then what else? Who will basically? Do you understand? So I feel like I need to, do this because it's the point of me basically being alive. I don't like it when, do you know something? I don't like it when people come to me and ask me for something, right? So I feel like the thing that I'm sharing to you is not just going to be basically, I'm just going to be feeding you every day. No. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to teach you how to do it, basically. Teach you how to go about, give you the right information, so that you rather than coming to me to basically ask me for every single decision to take in life, you will know the right knowledge, that you have the right knowledge to take all those certain decisions for yourself, and basically me teaching you how to fish so you can feed yourself forever.
Yeah,
Right. So
like I just want to say this thing, like if you want to do something, like if you want to achieve something, right? If you want to achieve something, like if you're not ready to look bad, do you understand? If you're not ready to look bad, you always want to be looking good in the people's eye. You never want to be embarrassed and all those things. You understand? You're never actually going to achieve anything.
yeah.
Understand? Like this podcast now, sometimes the audio is not clear. Sometimes you can be recording, somebody will badge inside here and start talking, and I'll be like, "Guy, how far?" You understand? All these things now, all these things is what will now build the Michelle and Tony show tomorrow.
Yeah.
You understand? Like this is the cost of transformation. If you're not ready to go through all this embarrassment, all this thing, you always want to be looking good. I mean, look at our profile, this thing now. Look at how dull that picture is. I'm basically the one that edited it. Right? If you're not ready to go through all these things, then you basically don't want to achieve anything. You understand? You have to learn to go through all these things. And another reason why I will never stop is because there's something called law of attraction.
Yeah.
Right? I basically believe that law of attraction is basically how Tony and I met each other. Like that is what I just basically believe, because there is no other fucking way. You understand? Just the perfect day, the perfect time, the perfect moment. Everything was just so fucking perfect and aligned. I basically believe that Tony and I met each other through attraction. Now, this podcast now, let's say it's not yet strong enough to start magneting people. It's not yet strong enough to start attracting people. So the job you have to be playing now is the consistency game, right? Eventually, somebody that is lost scrolling through social media or whatever will stumble across the podcast. She'll enter it, she'll listen, she'll be enlightened, she'll smile, she'll go out. Another person, it will happen to another person, and another person, and another person, and another person. That is basically how I believe that this audience is going to be built, right? And as much as most of our listeners are people that are from my WhatsApp status, maybe they'll see it and they'll go there. But like, I believe that the main audience are the people that we basically don't know, right? They stumbled across it and they found it valuable, and like after listening to an episode, they're like, wow, like they actually learned something. You understand? So whatever it is you are doing, you have to be consistent. Like you just have to be consistent. Like you just have to be consistent. Like you just basically have to be consistent. And there's this hack for consistency that I learned. It was towards this podcast, right? I've not applied it to any other thing in life except for this podcast. And it's just basically liking what you do. Like just like I think that if you like what you do, right? I think that if you like what you do, consistency won't be an issue for you. A perfect example I'll give is I Should Speed. I don't think that I Should Speed needs to complain or you be like, I'm not in the mood to live stream or record or all this. Like if you look at the guy, he's always enjoying what he's doing, right? That's why she's not flexing car. Like you don't see the guy like flexing wealth on his. You know this thing about do it for 5 years. I don't believe in that do it for 5 years shit. Like you're going to give this person this time frame now, do it for 5 years, and eventually you make it. But like if the person could just enjoy what he's doing, and as you just moving, every other thing will be coming, the money, the cars, the houses, but they're not even in your head because you just love what you're doing.
You're prioritizing just the like what you're basically.
Yeah, like that's how this podcast is for me. Like you think I'm like, if I just have to do it for 5 years, and it's not, for me it's not work, it's not stress. So consistency is not a fucking issue, right? So like that for me, that's just basically it.
Basically, what we're just trying to tell you that if you find yourself in a situation where you feel like this is what I want to do, but you don't find joy in
it,
process
like,
of taking, basically, you're just in the wrong, in the wrong place.
Maybe, but I mean, maybe some people might disagree with the fact that because there's this thing about liking what you're doing. They say you shouldn't trust yourself on liking and not liking and all those things. But for me, the thing is just
basically, I mean,
you just like.
I think anybody that learns anything today, any like skill on their own, likes the process. Like for you to have basically learned it on your own, you weren't forced to do anything. You feel like this is what I want to do, and you basically learned it on your own. It means you liked it, right? Whatever you like doing, whatever you like, basically basically who you are as a person. Basically, I feel like people need to understand that before they enter any certain thing in life, they need to understand who they are as a person. Like it is their personality that basically drives them in whatever field they want to basically enter inside. I feel
like this podcast.
Yeah, basically podcast is an expression of yourself, basically. This is what basically Michelle likes, and basically Michelle likes doing basically what's it called, Tony likes doing, in the idea of that they like expressing the right things, that very calculated moves, and then they also don't understand like personality. Their personality is basically, they understand their personality, and then it transcends into this podcast basically. Then people who learn maybe graphic designing are people who learn video editing, and those creative people that love being creative and stuff like that. So I feel like anything that you do basically in life has to transcend to your personality. What type of person are you? Do you understand? So people that basically do forex or do all those things, these people are the people who are, should I say, overcalculated. Basically, people that invest are people that are very overcalculated. They think about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And they are like also very risk. They're basically high risk takers than most people in this life.
What you're basically saying, just find that thing that you just start
Yes.
with naturally.
Yes.
And I trust me, there's a field in anything.
Yes.
Find that thing, just like tap it naturally.
Because that's the only way you can actually like basically like
just
the
keep
transition
going,
process will
yeah.
transition process will be as easy
fun
as
and,
it will be easy as anything, and then you just see yourself just keep on going even without you even wanting to push
Yeah,
for it. Like
you don't even need to push because bro, you fucking love it.
yeah, this is
right?
what you, so it's just you as a person basically what is it called being represented by the whatever you are doing basically. So that's the idea behind this thing, and then you have to find what you know your personality basically like entail what who you are as a person, and then the job, the skills, the whatever it is that you want to now do will now basically be like a diagram, like a basically a mirror of who you are as a person.
For example, now like it's just perfect. Like I love improving myself, right? Then this podcast is about teaching people also how to improve themselves, right? And it's no stress, it's no. You understand that vibe?
So it's just basically who you are as a person, and then it will show in your work, to show in this thing, and then that's the easiest part about it because it's who you are as a person. You're not fighting to be somebody else, and then now following other people's content or doing other things that people told you that this is what they like doing. So that is why you see one thing about patterns and strategies in forex is that it's something that you resonate with, something that you understand well. It's not something that was bought into you. You didn't have to buy into it. Like you didn't have to force yourself to learn it. You can't force yourself to learn it. It's something that you like. It's something that you know yourself that you can do. It's something that like this is what basically clicks for you. It might not be the content creator that like it might not be the forex person that the mentor that basically came about that what's it called strategy. It might not be the strategy that your mentor basically used. It might just be something else basically. It might be something else. It might be basically learning from a mentor that uses ICT or price action to trade, and then you're someone that just basically does trades, top analysis and whatever, uses demand and supply zones, and that's just all for you. Do you understand? People do use different strategies. The person you learned how to trade from uses price action. You ended up learning demand and supply zones.
Yeah.
So that's how basically like life is. You understand? It might not be the person who basically gave you the idea of this thing that you now end up what's it called, doing what he did or something like that. And so you start to find what you personally resonate with, what you feel like is who am I as a person, who like what it is that I like doing. Then you now see that your skills, your whatever thing that you end up entering in is just basically going to resonate who you are as a person. So you should not be forced. Consistency should not be forced into you. It's not something that you have.
It's hardcore, be consistent type of people. Yeah, it's not the best.
You can't be consistent in what you don't like.
Actually, you're like self intoxicating yourself. Like you're just creating this toxic.
Yeah. Basically you can't fight who you are as a person. Like a man trying to turn into a woman. Like, you're still a man.
You can't do it. Yeah, you can't.
Even if you feel like you're a woman at the end of the day, maybe you've gotten 10 years of being a trans woman. Someone who sees you 10 years after will know that you're a man. So like there's basically nothing you can do to fight who you are as a person. You just have to use that who you are as a person as leverage, as
skill in a particular field.
Do you understand? So people should just start seeing consistency as something that should be from within. It's basically something that you basically resonate with before you start being consistent. Nothing. That's just it.
Yeah, so like whatever you're doing, right? Just try to be fucking consistent. You understand? Like the truth is that this I believe, understand? In fact, it's not even like a belief. Like it's just like how we know that the earth is spherical. It's not bragging on this, but I just know that like Tony and I are going to grow this podcast into a fucking ass empire. Like we are going to go places, we are going to but like all these things are only possible if one thing is assured and guaranteed, that is if we are consistent.
Yeah.
I remember the day when I thought about this idea of the podcast. I keep saying it, I was inside that ELS 104 class. I was just thinking. So I came back and I told Tony. And Tony basically said yes. Right? We had zero thing figured out. Our audience our content style. Nope. We had zero. Like we basically had nothing figured out. Then, how many days later, we recorded our first episode on my bed, making use of my phone app sound recorder. That was just basically it. That's basically how it started. So like you that is trying to like figure everything out at once. Let me tell you that certainty kills growth. The only way to keep growing is when you're uncertain. Right? Embrace that uncertainty. It's a lot of people are waiting to be certain. Like you see, life rewards action, not intelligence. Right? Life will reward the person that did it, not the person that gave like a thousand perfect. You know this thing about giving somebody reasons why it's not work. If you see them doing it, they like feeling so smart and it's so fucking. You see them, they'll be like, this is why it's not work. They'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 reasons. So yeah, this is why it's not work. Those people, they are done. Leave them. Just basically leave them. Like just fuck them. Like you have only one existence. You can't tell me that you want to make people happy. You want to please people. You only have one existence, bro. Push after that thing you want with every fucking thing in you. Right? It might lead to you not being balanced. Fuck balance, guy. Like I keep saying, balance is fucking overrated. A lot of people like talking about this balance thing as if God said in the Bible, thou shalt be balanced. When you're in focus, you're out of balance. You understand? When you're focusing on something, the rest of the other things will not be balanced. So, like, just push after that thing. Right? Just push after that thing. You understand? I'm seeing some people like this now that are singing. Right? Like some of my classmates that are singing now, they are still upcoming. And one thing I really want is in the future, where the Michel Anthony show is already established and made, and them too, they are already known, and we'll be sitting down and we'll be discussing. Like, that's basically one thing I want, and that's what I want for everybody, right? So you need to find out your dream and push after it. You understand?
Yeah, basically. And the thing again that you need to understand is that there's some dreams that are just not what, like, you think that is what you want to be. It's not what you want
it's not what you want to be. Like it's not basically your belief. It's the belief someone put in your head.
Yeah. See, I told myself that I wanted to be a footballer all this while, and then it was, I love football, but then it doesn't mean I want to be a footballer. That's not who I am. That's not basically what I'm supposed to be doing. Do you understand? Like, do you understand? My it's not even about my parents fought the idea of me becoming a footballer. I thought that was where I was supposed to be, but then I was like, this no, like football. The reason why I wanted to become a footballer, I realized that it was something that all of my friends were doing. Do you understand?
Yeah.
From young, my friends always play football. My dad loves football. Everybody around me was just football. And I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Football is nice. Football is nice. I was just always like, trying to play football and everything. And then, yes, I love football, but then this is not like, big pushing after it's not something that's like personally.
Yeah, I think how you recognize all these things, like, I don't know if you've ever done this thing, like maybe there's a time where you take a step back and like you view your life from another angle, not from your own eye. Like you're like inside the angle where you are viewing things, like, but you see it with another different eye. That's how you're able to like spot all these things out. You understand? Because now you're no longer attached to yourself. It's very, very complex. It's like basically dividing yourself into 2 or 3 to see your life from another angle.
Yeah, so
where you are a player inside that angle and stuff.
basically, like that was just the whole what's it called? The whole thing about belief, and then pushing for something that you feel like this is what I want to do. I thought that was what I wanted to do, but then the idea of me now pushing for it was now the issue. And I saw that for me not to be pushing for this kind of thing, then it just basically means that it's not what I'm supposed to do. And it was in that notion I found that there were different things online. Do you understand? I was always basically I was basically always online trying to look for the next. And I thought this online thing I should just basically like make it musical, who I am. Do you understand? Make something out of this, make the best out of this online shit, basically. Yeah. And I saw that Rex was there. There were these certain things that were in existence that I did not know about, and when I found out about it, it was something that I didn't force myself to start learning.
Yeah,
I
you
just
just
I was
clicked
going
it.
to do it. I was going to do it. I was going to do it, and I just saw myself doing it. Like football, when I told myself I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And I never saw myself doing it, but like I told myself I was going to do it, and I did it. Like no issue. Like I didn't have to for somebody. Nobody had told me this is what you want. This is
Yeah.
what I want you to do.
Yeah, it's
Nobody
your
told
own
me.
free
It was just
will.
basically me just saying this is what I want to do, and I did it. Like and I just kept on doing it. And I never ever seen that. I never looked back about it. And so yeah.
Yeah, and that's like the best type of responsibility you can put yourself, like self-imposed responsibility,
Yeah,
right?
like-
Not parents imposed or society imposed the responsibility. Yeah.
So that's basically life, and then you need to first, like I said, find what you basically resonate with before you look for consistency. Like
Yeah.
you know, you find what you resonate with before you look for consistency. Stop trying to find perfect time. Like Michelle said, there's never a perfect time. You just start. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If you want to just get to that next level, do you understand? Like life, like Michelle said, life does not reward anybody's great idea. Do you understand? Nobody should have that great idea. Life never rewards that great idea. You just have to start. You know, uncertainty kills what growth. Uncertainty kills growth. So you don't have to be certain about every single thing. You just have to discover it while you just keep on going. So that's just basically life for you. And I feel like this podcast has basically just been an eye opener.
Yeah, it's an eye and it's just actually.
And then like even us too, every single time we just keep on learning.
You just
like,
keep on learning, actually.
just keep on learning, you
Because there's something to know all these things. There's another thing to voice it out.
Yeah.
When you're voicing it out, you can actually hear what you're saying, right? Like me saying some of the things that I said today, it actually like made it stamp more in my heart. On like stamp more on my heart. You understand? It basically made me it's just like reaffirming the thing. So yeah, I really actually love this episode.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for the 21st episode of this Michelle and Tony show, right? Remember what we said: keep going, keep pushing, so that all of us will get there together. We don't know about you, but we don't plan on stopping anytime soon.
Yeah.
That's all for this episode. Peace out.